Hi, kids. Welcome to Peri, Lyons, New York City celebrity psychic, and it's great to have you here. So, I know everybody's a little verklempt about what's going on. It's a mysterious time, and things that we don't know, we're scared by. I certainly have been occasionally. So I've spent the week studying how to access the Akashic records. And the Akashic records is something I've learned a long time ago, but I've been refreshing. The Akashic records are mentioned in the Bible and in most sacred texts in one way or another. And what they are is kind of, well, you know how in first grade, if you sucked your paintbrush, the teacher would say, "This is going on your permanent record." So the Akashic records are kind of our permanent record, because as divine beings having a human experience, or in my case, a way too human experience, we're here to learn lessons, and I believe that our souls are eternal. But that and 2:45 will get me in the New York subway. So moving right along, I've been curious about what's going on and what's going to happen. So I went up into the Akashic records. I used the teachings of a woman named Jiwa Chan. I thought it was great to use a Chinese teacher during this time when everything's being blamed on a certain race, which is not true. A virus is just a virus. It doesn't care what color you are, what race you are, how tall you are, whatever. Anyway, so a virus is just a virus. And in a moment, I can teach you how to go into your Akashic records. But what I wanted to do right now was tell you what I've gotten. First of all, it's going to be okay. And it's going to be okay sooner rather than later. And I'm not saying that out of a stupid kind of Pollyanna, everything's got to be fine, because this is terrifying. But the image I got when I went into the Akashic records was that, as my friend Elizabeth Grace, the astrologer who I'm always quoting, says when she's talking about eclipses, an eclipse is a time when the energy is like the cop in Make Way for Ducklings. You remember that story from your childhood? When a Boston cop saw a mama duck and her ducklings trying to cross a very busy Boston road, and he held up the traffic like that so they could cross in peace and be safe. So that's what an eclipse does astrologically, according to Elizabeth Grace. But that's also what I got that this time is about. That this time is a time for all of us to take on not only the challenges of everyday life, which can be very difficult for a lot of us right now, but the challenge of remaining conscious. Well, I mean, you don't have to stay awake all the time. That's not what I mean. But conscious in terms of knowing that there's always something to be grateful for. And I know that sounds kind of, again, like a little sweetness and light, but it's true. This is a time for all of us to look at the things that we have procrastinated about. All of those times that we've said, I don't have time to finish that book of poetry or that fabulous painting. This is a time when we can look at all of the things that we have procrastinated about in our lives and reassured ourselves with a fantasy of, I'll do that someday, and see if this is something we want to do or not. A lot of my clients and friends, who are kind of the same people, are discovering that during this time when they have a little time to meditate, which I recommend, or pray, also recommend, or think, hard to do, but I still recommend it, that the things that they're actually interested in are not necessarily the things that they fantasized about. I've got a lot of people who are like, well, when I get time, I'm going to write that novel. And they're finding out you know what? I don't want to write that novel. What I want to do is communicate in some way what that novel means to me. So they'll find a way of expressing what they wanted to communicate in that a different way, maybe by calling friends and sharing life stories, maybe by using this time to like research their lineage, maybe by the thing is that this is a time when all of us are asked to also reconsider our values. What do you find you miss most in this time? Okay, I miss restaurants, but I don't think that's part of my values. But actually, it kind of is, because when I'm at restaurants, I usually go there with friends. We use that time to talk to each other and enjoy really delicious food. So maybe my values are friendship and social sharing and delicious food. So maybe I can satisfy that now by learning to be a better cook at home, which wouldn't be tough, and by making sure that I FaceTime or Skype my closest friends and just say, how are you? I was thinking about you. Let's use this time to reestablish intimacy and talk about what's important to us. I think within 3 weeks, I think it's going to get worse next week. So please stay 6 feet away from people, wash your hands, wear like latex gloves if you go shopping, and then wash your hands like crazy. Take all of the precautions. Do all of that, please, because you're my favorite people. But I think in 3 weeks, we're going to see that all of our disciplined staying at home and all of this time that we've taken to think about what our values are, we're going to come out of this better and stronger. And hold on, I just noticed that my my decorative cloth here needs a little adjusting. Oh, well, screw it. You guys are just going to have to deal with a green chair. Sorry. We're going to come out of this knowing more that we're all connected, that we need each other, that kindness and love and connectedness is what being a human is all about. And I don't feel the world is coming to an end. But I feel that we've been all given a time to get organized, find out what we really love to do, throw away the fantasies of what we thought we loved to do, and understand that we're all one. Okay. You know what? I think next show I'll teach you guys how to access your Akashic records, because I have a client, I have a caller, waiting, and I want to get to her. But until next week, please, take necessary precautions, but pray, meditate, think about what you're grateful for, and let's just remember that unconditional love is kind of the cure for everything. Okay, maybe unconditional love and a face mask and some whatever the new medicine is they're coming out with. But so when you get panicky, remember on AZ Pack. Thank you, dear. Whenever you get panicky, just take a minute, think about somebody or something you love unconditionally. Go to that energy for a few minutes. You'll feel much better. And reach out to your friends, and especially your older friends. And here's the prayer. Dear universal light beings, we hold your love, light, and wisdom in our hearts. Now, these can be angels or anything else. Please help us to be a clear channel with complete trust in our abilities to surrender our human judgment. Please help us to connect with open hearts and to know the truth of our existence, that we may be of service for the highest good of all. So you want to get in a comfortable position and sort of say that prayer out loud. And then set the intention that you'd like to access your own Akashic records, which is sort of your eternal records of what's best for you and what's coming up. You can change them, but it's good to know sort of what's going on. So what you want to do is visualize the light of the Akashic records coming down, which is pure love, and also pure information coming down from above and coming to your 8th chakra. Now, the 8th chakra is, if you raise your hand right above your head, the 8th chakra is where your hand is above your head. And it's kind of a baby blue color about the size of a softball. It doesn't get talked about much, poor 8th chakra, but it's still there. So visualize the light from your 8th chakra coming down through your head, should be painless, and into your heart chakra, which is the green. Chakras are like the size of baby beach balls, and there are these energy centers within us, and they really exist. Oh, good. Hi, Tiffany. Hold on one second. I'm just going to teach this. It'll take 2 more minutes, but I'm dying to talk to you. Is that good? Okay, 1 sec. So you're going to bring that light from the 8th chakra down into your heart chakra, just down into your chest, and then down into this yellow chakra. It's the size of a baby's beach ball, right above your navel. And you're going to close your eyes and look out from that chakra. Just kind of pretend your eyes are down right above your navel. Look around the room. Come back up to your heart. And then go to your mind's eye, which is right behind where your eyebrows are. Observe your surroundings. Notice them and let go. And then just receive any information you get. You'll be really surprised. I never expected this to work, but when I did it, it worked immediately. And so if you're staying there about 3 minutes and then say thank you, the records are closed, and just write down what you get. If you have any questions about this, you can go back and watch this on YouTube. Just put in Peri, P-E-R-I, Lyons, L-Y-O-N-S. It'll pop up, and it's very useful. So thank you for hanging out with me. And now we're going to hang out with Tiffany. Yes. Hi, Tiffany.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, good. Nice to hear your voice. How are you?
I'm doing just fine.
Good. All right. In order to connect with you, I'd like you to just tell me your birthday.
8/14/89.
8/14/89. Wait, 8 August? August. I knew I could do it. August 14th,
Yes.
You're a Leo? Awesome. We love Leos in the show.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have a lovely energy. It's nice. It's so nice to connect with you. So
Thank you.
here, what can I help you with? Would you like, it feels like you have 2 specific questions. So how can I help you, my love?
Yes, ma'am. I have 2 questions. I wanted to know if y'all can't answer, or anyway, I wanted to know how my daddy died and why.
Oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. He died a while ago. Is that correct? Like 7 years?
No, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I get to be wrong on the first question, but I'll be right for the rest of it. When did he pass, dear?
Approximately 4 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh. So I guess it feels like 7 years ago he made some sort of choice that changed his life. So I'm going to stand by that. I'm so sorry for your loss. What was his first name? Can you tell me?
Roy.
Okay, thank you. Who is keeping this information from you before you answer? Why aren't you being told?
We truly don't know. We feel like he was killed,
I think,
But
yeah.
ma'am, but
I think yeah. I think he passed after I think he had a serious illness that was undetected for a long time. You know, men do not like to go to doctors. And I think he was the kind of person who just would like be, you know, I'm not gonna be weak. I'm not gonna admit I don't feel good. I think he passed from a mixture of cancer and heart failure. And I think it went undetected for a long time. And I'm very, very sorry for your loss. But I do think that
okay, thank you.
I think there was something there that, you know, he's a good man. And he was also a little stubborn. And, you know, he didn't like to go to doctors. He just didn't. But he's very handsome. I can see him. Do you have half siblings as well as whole siblings? Do you have like brothers and sisters and then half brothers and sisters? Because there's a lot of.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
A lot. Yeah. So, is it 7 in all?
Ma'am.
Do you have? If you combine your half brothers and sisters with your other brothers and sisters, is that 7 kids? Going out on a limb here, but I'm curious.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. That's what the 7 was about. I apologize. Yeah. So he wants all of you to know that 7 is his lucky number, and he loves all of you. He especially sends love to you and, I'm sorry, do you have 1 child or 2?
I have more than 2.
Oh, sorry about that. Well, I got the 7 right. Okay, I think he had a special connection with, I'm not sure if one of them was named after him or he had a special connection with 2 of them. I'm having a hard time getting how many kids you have. Is it 5?
No, ma'am, I had 7.
Oh, okay. It's funny. I was going to say that, and I was like, no, that's too much of a coincidence. Forgive me for being a chicken there. You have beautiful kids.
It's okay.
Oh,
thank you.
And you're so hardworking. I have to say, I really admire you. You're my only caller today, so do you mind if I do a little more work with you? Because you're very kind and have unbelievably good manners. What?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a question that you have that you might be a little embarrassed to ask?
I don't know what y'all be able to pick up on this, like dealing with my daddy's death.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the doctors are hiding something from us. We asked for an autopsy for our father, and they didn't perform one.
Well, you know, you can look into that. And if people, you know, it's hard losing. I know when I lost my dad, I was so angry and just, you know, it's hard to explain to anybody what that feels like if they haven't gone through it, because it's funny, you're both very much like your mother and your father. That's I don't see that very often, but you're very much like, you have a lot of your father's strengths, and you also feel like, also feel like the upper half of your face, you look very much like, what?
Oh, you scared me. You said the upper half of my face that looked like my daddy.
Yeah, you do, right?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Yeah. You have some American Indian in your ancestry through your dad. You know, he was those beautiful cheekbones.
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's one reason he was so wise and spiritual. And you know what? I mourn his passing too. He was a lovely, lovely man and very spiritual. And I think, I feel for you. But I can see him, and he's happy. He's great. He had a smile that, oh my God, his smile. And he had a beautiful skin color. Almost coppery.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I can see him. And he was also close to either his brother or his father, because he's hanging out with somebody who passed before him. And boy, does he love his kids. He's so proud of you, Tiffany. You've been so strong in every way. I can't even tell you what you've been through. I don't have to. You've been through it. But you've kept your faith, and you've kept your integrity, you've kept your honesty. It's beautiful. He's so proud of you.
Oh, my God.
And I don't think you were able to be there when he passed. Was that correct?
Oh, yes, you are so correct.
It's my job. I like my job. And you have a beautiful spirit. So it's a pleasure to read. By the way, you've got some gifted kids there. You got some really smart kids.
Thank you so much.
3 of them are extremely good at reading and writing. 2 of them are very good at science. The other 2 have kind of artistic gifts. And who's the really social one? Who's the really outgoing one? Feels like a boy to me, who charms everybody he meets. Who's that? Which one is that?
This Justin. This is my son, Justin.
He's so cute. I can't even. He'd be a great preacher too. I mean, he just has a gift with people. He just sees people. You have these beautiful kids. Congratulations. So your father is.
Thank you.
Was he slender at some point during his life?
Yes.
Not a huge guy, more of a medium to slender build, kind of elegant. I'm getting him as being kind of elegant.
Yes,
yeah.
I do.
And
yes.
He's kind of leaning against the wall, and he's kind of, he has a certain way of standing. That. I don't know, he's an elegant man. Oh, I just really enjoy him. He's so present with you. You know what? He's right there with you. He's with all of his kids. And what he most wants you to know is that, he was a hardworking man. He wasn't always able to be there, but he was always there with you. He worked hard because he loved you guys, and he wanted you to have what you deserved. And he always also saw, you've got a special gift of some kind. Let me see. You've got a couple of gifts here. Oh, honey. You have a gift of spirit. So you have a very strong faith. Yeah. Yeah. It's like most people leave their prayers on God's answering machine. You get through to the boss directly. It's like you have a very powerful prayer. Yeah. Is that right? I mean, when I pray, I know God hears me, but it's like sometimes I get put on call waiting, but you're for some reason on the VIP list. You have a very strong faith and a very strong gift for that. You have 2 other gifts. You're a very good teacher. You're very patient. And you know how to get your ego out of the way in order to teach your kids or other people. Is that correct? I know you're modest, but you can tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you have a gift for teaching.
Yes, ma'am, you're correct.
Yeah, if you ever want to do that professionally, and the world needs great teachers, and you have a real calling there. And you also, you're a very loving and forgiving person. Okay, except when somebody violates what you think are your standards for their best self. So, and you know what? I'm a little like that too. The other gift you have is you see beauty. I don't know if you paint or draw or sketch, but you have, when you see like a sunset, or beautiful anything, you have such a gift for appreciation of beauty. So I'm very happy to have met you. If you have any more questions,
thank you. I have.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I have a question.
We've got 30 seconds. Make it fast, and I'll answer fast. Yeah?
Okay.
Quick.
I wanted to know, before my daddy passed, was my daddy and his brother, did they have a fight?
They had a disagreement, not a fight. And it's fine now because they were very close. It's fine. Your father's just smiling, and his smile lights up a room. I'm very grateful to you for introducing me to your blessed father. And please know that he's fine. He loves you, and you can talk to him. He can hear you. His love is all around you, and he's a guardian angel for your kids and for you. All right, my dear. Bless you. And find me on Facebook. Get in touch. Huge hugs to everyone. And be careful out there. And I'll see you next week at 9 p.m. here in Moonstruck and A10R. Take care, loves. Bye-bye.